The Traitor by I Will Find You. Once there was a girl named Carla, and she had a bunny named Penny, and a little sister named Kailey. One day, her parents and sister left for an appointment her sister had. It began to get dark. Her family wasn't home yet, so she decided to watch TV instead of going to bed. Later, she heard glass shattering. It was coming from the other side of the house. She got up to check it out. She was not scared at first because she thought it was her bunny, Penny. She got out all the time and caused all sorts of trouble. First, she inspected the cage, which, as suspected, was empty. Then, she went to where she thought she heard the glass shatter. She didn't find the hundreds of pieces of a smashed bowl or vase she thought she would, but instead felt a cold draft blowing through the house. This led her to the shattered window. Suddenly, Penny came hopping towards her from the opposite direction. Carla then saw a shadow pass by outside. She rushed to hide under the table with Penny in her arms. Then she heard a meow. It turned out it was either just a lost or stray cat. "But how did a cat break a window?" asked Carla out loud. She then heard a noise, and the cat hissed and ran away. Suddenly, a tall, shadowy figure appeared. It was a robber. He came closer and closer and closer to them. Then, to Carla's surprise, the robber tore off his mask. It was her dad. He thought that she broke the window, so he decided to teach her a lesson by scaring her really bad. "But I didn't break the window," Carla exclaimed. "I don't know who or what did." A frightened look fell over her dad's face, and he said in a frightened tone,
"Carla, call the police."
While Carla dialed 911, her dad called Carla's mom and sister into the room to wait until the police arrived.
"What's going on?"
said Carla's mother.
"I'm scared, Mommy,"
cried Kailey. Once the police showed up, they patrolled the area, but only found a set of footprints. Whoever or whatever broke into the house was barefoot. Whoever or whatever it had been left a trail leading off towards the woods.
"Looks like the suspect ran off towards the woods,"
said an officer. Kailey was so scared that she started crying. The next day, the police gathered up a team of 7 officers and followed the footprints with Carla and her dad close behind. The police, Carla, and her dad finally reached the end of the trail. They stopped and found themselves standing in front of a run-down trailer. It was so well hidden in the forest that you wouldn't have found it if there weren't footprints to lead you to it. They slowly approached the trailer. Carla and her dad stayed outside with 2 police officers while the other 5 gained entry. They were inside for 6 whole minutes before they heard a blood-curdling scream. Carla, her dad, and the other 2 officers ran as fast as they could, all the way back to the house. As they were catching their breath, one of the officers said,
"There's a murderer on the loose!"
The police advised Carla and her family to stay inside, where they'd be safer. While Carla and her family hid, the police found that more strange things were going wrong. The police department's computers appeared to have been hacked, and whoever was doing it was deleting important information, including case files and evidence catalogs. Every time they tried to change the login information, the computer still got hacked moments later. The police decided to get prepared and go back to the hidden trailer in the forest. They were planning an ambush. When the sun went down, they slowly and quietly entered the trailer. All was quiet until they heard shuffling coming from the back of the trailer. They turned their flashlights off and crept toward the back of the trailer. they spotted a shadowy figure crouching in the corner. They leapt out and 6 officers struggled to pin the figure to the wall. They switched on their flashlights and gasped with surprise as they found out it was a traitor. They had restrained one of their own, another police officer named Timothy.
Let me go!
He screamed with tears in his eyes.
I have to do this! I have to do this to save my son!
The police would not hear him out just yet, and arrested him and put him in jail. When they interviewed him in jail, he confessed that his son was in the hospital, and he didn't have enough money to pay for the hospital bills. He had been hacking the computers and using the information he obtained to steal weapons and other illegal substances to sell for the bills he had to pay for his son's treatment. And the lesson here is don't take your trust for granted. The end. He confessed that his son was in the hospital.
The hospital!
It was beginning to get dark. Shorts of trouble. Don't take your trust for granted.
Especially at the hospital!
Gasp. Gasp.